If I had some paperwork to show y'all about the investigation they did into all this AFW fuckery, I would show it to you, but it's literally nothing to show. They was just like, when do you want to return to work? It wasn't even no paperwork. It was not one stitch of paper that came out behind that dumb shit.
Anti-Afro Spingalies. Listen, folks, we got to do this. Listen, folks, I'm not going to expend any other time pulling up any other audio other than what you heard. In all likelihood, you've heard most of what has appeared on the screen. Anyway. But if I need to, I will. It's there. We all know what's there, although the Unwashed tries to say it's not. It's there. I'm going to come back to Georgia and its paperwork. So just hang on for that a little bit later. On the screen, you will see different quotes from the Unwashed, the fired teacher from the DeKalb County School District. So I pulled together some quotes which have popped up. And it's quite interesting how these quotes have made it to us with different clips. Just out of the blue, supposedly there was some other topic that was being discussed, and it comes back to us that our names are mentioned. AFW is mentioned. And these statements are made. So people will send us back these statements. All of these occur at different times, going all the way back to when we filed complaints against the Unwashed. Let me be clear about what statements have been made. Unequivocally, it was laid down. There is no way she ever went back to Tucker High School, never stepped foot back on that campus. And there were several people who were adamant. They didn't give a damn what she said. Remix said that. Rev G said that. Stargate said that. Professor C said that. Breaking the culture of silence. They said, we don't care what she says. You're not going to tell us that she ever went back to that school. We don't care what story she tried to spin. She did not step foot back on that campus. I wholeheartedly believe the same thing. She has said so many different things. The lies, there are a whole new stratosphere. They can't all be true. The things that she says, it's actually to the point where you have to laugh. But this is what I want to do. I want to talk about some of these lies. I'm going to recite some of these lies. Then I'm going to describe for you how they can't be true. I'm going to state the lie and I'm going to pretend they're true when I state them, and then I'll tell you how illogical the bullshit is. So I did nothing wrong. She's been saying that for the longest time. Okay, did nothing wrong. Okay, let's say that. She did nothing wrong, and they told her, you did nothing wrong, the Unwashed. You're a victim, they're just attacking you. But then she says, again, these are not statements she's making at the same time. She later on says she was transferred. I did nothing wrong, but I was transferred. She was transferred. Why? She says because all this shit that they caused, and of course she's talking about us, we caused a distraction. Excuse me, Kip, were you teaching at DeKalb County School District? Kip, were you at Tucker High School? Because you're the only one I can think of. Well, there's someone else there, but we won't go there. Were you in that classroom? Were you on that campus? Did you cause a distraction? We caused a distraction? Any of us? Those who filed complaints caused a distraction? Who caused the distraction? Who made the statements? She's saying the shit they did, the shit that was done was perpetrated by the unwashed. But at any rate, she says that she was transferred. But she says she did nothing wrong. How can you be transferred when you did nothing wrong? Now, I can understand if someone is asking to be transferred because there's a risk issue or you have a preference. But how would you be transferred if you did nothing wrong? Rev G was never transferred. He's been harassed by false complaints. I've had false complaints filed against me. There was never any discussion about transferring. There was one particular situation. I worked as a contractor for a particular agency. They were calling all over the place, disrupting all kinds of crap for that agency. There wasn't any type of discussion or consideration about doing anything to me. They ended up penning a letter to the idiot who was harassing that company and says, if you contact us again, we are going to call the police and we're going to take legal action against you. Same thing with Rev G. Stop calling us. They're harassing his employer. Stop contacting us. If you got an issue with Gerald Palmer, you can take it up in the legal system, but you need to stop contacting us. There is no cause. They're not talking about doing anything to Gerald Palmer. Nothing was ever discussed about doing anything to me. How would you be moved if you did nothing wrong? If there was nothing, I did nothing. If you did nothing, they would stand by you and you would not have been transferred. This is what she is saying. Remember, I'm only telling you what she is claiming. Do I even freaking believe her story? I don't believe anything coming out of her mouth. I'm only giving you what she said, and I'm explaining to you that the whole thing is illogical. If you didn't do anything wrong, why would you be transferred? Then she had stated, they all support me. They meaning the students, the parents, the staff, the administrators. She even cited the demon freaks in the Umar Johnson sector. She says they supported her. She even stated the demon freaks sent letters of support. The same demon freaks that she turned around and stabbed in the back. She got letters of support from the demon freaks. And what did she do? Stabbed them in the back. Got letters that they sent. They supported her. That's exactly what happened, according to her. They didn't care about no newspaper or no TV reports. They all supported her and they knew she was being mistreated and lied on with splice videos. Why would she be transferred? They wouldn't transfer her. She's being lied on. She says she was transferred, although she had all this support. It's nonsensical. And again, she makes the statements at different times. But here's another curveball. She went over to another sector and told someone in another sector, I'm still at the same school I've always been at for how many years? She said she was 10, 11 years. I haven't changed anything. I am still there. How can you still be there if you were also transferred? Do you see? The lies never end. Now, let's take it a step further. Let's say it is true that she did get transferred. She ends up saying she quit. This is another thing on here. I never got fired. I quit. Okay, let's go with that. I could see how she would do that if it happened, because she would feel punished. It would be punitive. She's at a school for how many years? She says 10 years. Let's just pretend she's telling the truth. And you get transferred to another school, a whole new school. It's punishment. She doesn't even realize this. You're demoted. They didn't stand by you. You're starting over. However she describes it, it's punishment. But let me tell you what I really think happened. I think she got fired. Stargate said it. There's more than one way to get fired. They can move you out of that position. They can tell you either you resign or we'll terminate you. They can put you in the copy room and have you separate colored pencils and paper. They can tell you that you must get a fitness evaluation from the psychiatrist before you return, and you don't get one that's satisfactory. And then you go back to saying either you resign or get fired. There's all types of ways to get canned. It's not just one way to get canned. But I don't believe for any amount of money she went back to any classroom. You are not going to convince me of that. If you put money on the table and told me to say it, and just to say it, just to get the money, I wouldn't even be able to do that. I don't believe it. This is a liar. Nothing that comes out of that sewer potty mouth is to be believed. Okay, then she said another time, I was out for 6 months while they investigated. Can this be true? And I did nothing wrong is also true? That can be true as well? She was out for 6 months. Now, being out for 6 months could possibly be consistent with what's at the top of the page. I'll just go to my doctor and get on disability again. Do you recall, folks, that she came on and said that she was put out and threw a fit when the psychiatrist would not clear her to come back to work? This is what she's telling everybody. Now, it's possibly true because she came and said she was going to go on disability when she realized complaints were going to be sent in. 6 months? Out for 6 months? If anything's to be believed, that just might be the closest we're going to get. Even though I still don't believe anything coming out of that sewer potty mouth. Then she says, if I did quit, it would be another check. No, you cannot quit a job and get unemployment unless the criteria is met that you had to quit your job because the circumstances were so severe. You had to quit. Like there were snakes coming out of your walls. I'm being sarcastic. And they decided they weren't going to kill the snakes. There was mold in the classroom and they said, just get sick. We don't care about the mold. If somebody was continuing to threaten you and they said, you know what, that's your business. Something so serious and life-threatening or any other conditions that were so intolerable and you had to leave. Unemployment could give you a break. But if you resign from your job, you will not get unemployment unless it is in extreme circumstances. Then she says, I have nothing to hide. If she has nothing to hide, why is she taking down all her videos still? If she has nothing to hide, what happened to the channel with almost 300 videos? If she has nothing to hide, why did she delete all those channels? She deleted a channel with 300 videos on it. She's up to channel number 4 now. And every time she does a video or a live stream, she makes damn sure that video disappears. But that doesn't mean people don't capture it. If she has nothing to hide, you wouldn't be deleting videos. She's running from something. She's hiding from something, folks. Liar, plenty to hide. And denying and lying about her past content. Trying to say that people are trying to talk about her nasty body. She's the one that said all the things that people are repeating. She's the one that hid the content, but people have the documentation. They have the live streams of her vulgar, uncouth, tacky, vile, dirty mouth. You can't even play that crap right now because YouTube has tightened up. Well, I can play it. I can show you exactly what she said. I can play most of that stuff and you can pretty much hear what she's saying. It's there. She's a liar. She's made the statements and people find it objectionable and disgusting. It's not alluring. It's not sexy. It doesn't turn any dude on. They're turned off and they told her they were turned off. What kind of a woman gets up here and talks like that? It's not even part of like a discussion that you would have in mixed company if it's about the topic of sex, because men and women have those discussions. But how she does it is just uncouth, tacky, and is a turnoff. Nobody wants to hear it. And a lot of the brothers made it clear. And she wants to turn it into, they want me. Kip wants my body. Remix is after me. P wants me. All the brothers want to F me. To the point where the brothers in her chat are saying, no, I don't. No, I don't. Over here. No, I wouldn't want to F you. Instead of being silent and not saying anything, they are protesting. No, I don't. I'm one that wouldn't want to F you. Paying $500 for D and could not seal the deal. Trying to give it away for free. The kitty cat away for free. And the brothers are running for the hills, running into the middle of the street, risking being run over by trucks, trying to get away from that and the smell. And she's insisting on telling everybody, you want me, Remix, you want me, Remix, you're jealous. Oh my God. Oh, do you think Remix would have any problems communicating if he was attracted to a woman, if he wants to talk to a woman, if he wants to get busy with a woman, he's going to sit here and be shy about it or hesitate or be ashamed? Oh my God. If he wants to talk behind the scenes, he's going to sit here and be concerned what anybody thinks about that? Why the hell would he give a damn what anybody thinks if he wanted to get with any woman? And she's running around here trying to tell people that Remix wanted to get with her. She's the one that's always chasing and pursuing. And then when she started acting the fool behind Phonyton, he told her that was tacky. What kind of woman would go around saying stuff like that? That doesn't represent that somebody is jealous. This is telling you about yourself, that you don't have any respect for yourself. What kind of crap is that? If he really wanted to get with you, he would be making moves on you and trying to encourage you to improve yourself by trying to hook up with you. That wasn't the case. It's so disgusting to think he would want anything to do with you. You're mad because he didn't want to get with you and he's not chasing after you. You were chasing after him and you were mad because you didn't get Remix running after you. You were jealous of Nikki because she had a communication with Remix and you didn't. Remix didn't talk to you behind the scenes and you're pissed about it. You gave the $500 and you got nothing. You got nothing. You've been giving money to all these brothers in the YouTube streets and you're pissed about it. If you're going to support a channel. Who the hell cares what you get, quote, out of it? Other than the channel host appreciates the person coming to their channel. I think that's only reasonable if you support a channel and the host is courteous. That's the extent of it. She says there wasn't one stitch of paper that came out behind that dumb shit. Again, I'm not talking about at the same time. And then you think about the other statements she has made, not at the same time. She's also stated that they said to her, when do you want to return to work? As if it was a quick fix. How is it a quick fix if she's out for 6 months? That was absolutely no paperwork. How can you be transferred with no paperwork? How can you be on leave or suspension under investigation for 6 months and there's no paperwork generated. She'll just say anything. Wouldn't that be a violation of someone's rights if no paperwork is generated? How would it be out of all the teachers in the school districts? Everybody would have paperwork behind situations with formal complaints filed, but there'd be no paperwork. Stay tuned for my video on Georgia. But I don't believe the claim. She wants to keep on saying that she did nothing wrong. Therefore, there's no paperwork. You really think that a school that made the news regarding statements that a teacher, former teacher, a fire teacher made about students, the racist statements, the homophobic statements, the threats of violence statements, it ran the gamut. There would be nothing written. They put a press release out, and she's up here telling folks she received nothing in writing regarding what went down. I submit to you, just the opposite is true. You can't be moving employees around between schools without paperwork and documents. And let me say this. As far as her comment about tenure. She loves to think that nobody can do any research. This is going to vary from state to state, but as far as Georgia goes, if you do not fulfill the terms of your contract, you lose tenure. If you don't fulfill the entire school year and you resign, you can lose tenure. So let's say she quits, like she says she did. Remember, I don't believe anything she says, but let's say, for the sake of me illustrating this point, she quit in the middle of the school year, not the entire school year. She worked the middle of the school year. That would mean she would lose tenure. So let's say she did this, and it's true, although she's a liar. And then she goes and applies for another job at another school district in the state. She wouldn't have tenure. They would tell her, you quit. You did not fulfill your contract, which is an entire year. You don't have tenure. That's how it would work. What's the reason it would give her any special privileges? Re-emphasizing, nothing that comes out of that mouth is to be believed. I get to keep my credential. Well, who said there was an issue with the credential? That denotes there was a discussion. But those things kind of fly out of her mouth. This could be classified as an unguarded moment because school districts in the state of Georgia are required to file reports with the Georgia Department of Education when particular types of complaints are received. The complaints filed against the Unwashed met that criteria. So this potentially is an indicator that requirement was fulfilled, but we're going to be confirming that. So to make the statement, I get to keep my credential, is a potential indicator that this certain regulation was fulfilled. But I will never take the Unwashed word for it, and I won't take the school district's word for it. That's going to have to come from the state. The lies never end. Then she's saying that AFW put her students in the video. We don't have anything to do with students in any video. And she's aware of who put a video with students in it. It has nothing to do with us. She just wants to find anything and everything she can say or do to try to blame AFW. The blame is squarely on her for opening up her mouth. She's the one that created the situation for herself, just like DJ Drama Antonio Johnson did. I don't know what it is about Atlanta. You got a lot of idiots over there, rogue public servants like Fonnie Willis, just completely off the rails, thinking they can operate with impunity, although they're breaking the law. They think they got presidential immunity, they got diplomatic immunity. They think they can do whatever the hell they want. and there will be no consequences. Well, if she really wasn't concerned, why did she go around and say, I'm sick of you threatening my job? It's odd that she was yelling at someone. Someone had mentioned it was Remix's panel. Oh my God, she got into a fight with so-and-so in one of the other sectors. And then that person was on a panel over in the Umar Johnson sector. And then she got into a fight again. Talking about, you said you're going to go to the district. I'm going to put you down. Just screaming at the top of her lungs. I thought you had nothing to worry about. I thought you didn't get in trouble. I thought you're not worried. It seems that she's trying to get a job somewhere else and is worried. Something else is spinning around and she's worried about that getting out. Just completely went off the rails. I'm sick of you threatening me. I'm going to put you down. Because someone says they're going to go file a complaint with the district, she's threatening to kill them. This is what she does. Completely over the top. Always spinning off the rails. Then saying she didn't get disciplined. She didn't get disciplined, but she continues to spin off the rails, threatening people. You're trying to scare me. Trying to scare. What is this stuff about scaring people? It is what it is. People can say what they want to say. If you decide to get scared, you decide to get scared. That is on you. You're getting scared because there's something to be scared about. She knows she did wrong. She knows those live streams are out there. She knows those live streams are going to come back to haunt her anytime, any day. Whose problem is that? She is the one who opened up her big, fat, sewer potty mouth and said what she said. And when you do shit like that, when you violate every single rule, regulation under the sun, it comes back to bite you in the ass. The only one responsible for that is an idiot who opened up their mouth and said what they shouldn't have said. Like Antonio Johnson, DJ Drama, like the Unwashed, and like so many others. So many others in and around the Umar Johnson sector. Look for my video on Georgia. Got more coming your way. In the meantime, buyer beware.